I want to call this video How Tommy Stopped the Riots While Keir Poured Petrol On. And again, we've got to really get this right about what exactly happened after the 27th of July. You all know the story. We had a fantastic celebration. A festival of British unity, bringing people together from all cultures, all backgrounds. Anybody who loved the UK was welcome to come to that event, irrespective of nationality, skin colour, anything like that. And actually, people that didn't love the UK were welcome to come as well, as long as it didn't cause any trouble. So, you know, we didn't say you've got to be a dyed-in-the-wool patriot to come. Shows a lot of people that came there out of curiosity and went away very pleased with what they saw. That was the 27th. Tommy got arrested on the 28th. It was 28th? Yeah, I think it was 28th. Those 3 little girls were murdered on the Monday. I think it was Tuesday night, Wednesday night, the rioting started. And everything just went downhill from there. Right the way throughout the whole, the absolute height of the riots, there was one person with a massive following who was calling for calm, calling for people to not ruin their lives, calling for older men to get involved and to restrain the younger men. And that person was not the Prime Minister of the United Kingdom, was not the Home Secretary of the United Kingdom. That person was calling for unity, calling for peace, calling for calm. Every single video he made, he was calling for calm. And that person was Tommy Robinson. And I believe the influence that he has among the British working class, particularly young men, will have definitely led to calm being restored in the UK. It wasn't the fact that loads of people got arrested for posting hurty words on Facebook, Twitter, or whatever other social media platforms the local thought police decided they wanted to have a look at. It wasn't because retired train drivers who said hurty words about Allah got arrested and imprisoned by the police as if they were Ronnie Biggs or Peter Sutcliffe. No, nothing like that. That wasn't what stopped the riots. In fact, the reality is, I think if it wasn't for Tommy, and not just Tommy, other influencers right the way across the board on the so-called right. I don't even think we are right. I think we're just right. We're not right wing. We're just right. Loads of us were calming things down, talking to people, just saying, because to be honest with you, nobody saw this coming. We did not see those riots exploding in the way that they exploded. It was completely spontaneous. And instead of actually joining the chorus of people on the right who were calling for calm and de-escalating the situation by the social media presence and also just by chatting to people in various areas, the government, Keir Starmer, Yvette Cooper, did the opposite. They decided to divide the country into far right versus Muslims. That was pretty much the message from Keir Starmer. We will protect the Muslim communities. Now, the reality is there was absolutely, from the right side of politics, everybody was calling for calm and calling for people not to get involved with sectarian violence, with attacking Muslims, attacking mosques, etc. Everybody was saying that. But what Starmer did when he made those declarations about protecting the Islamic community, it poured petrol on the fire in 2 directions. One, it alienated people that were not Muslims and went, well, why aren't we getting protected? But what it also did, it terrified and mobilised large sections of the Muslim community who came out armed and did attack white men. I don't know whether those guys were involved in protests, involved in rioting, the ones that were attacked. I don't have any information on them. But the Muslims certainly went out with weapons, and we certainly saw lots of video footage of people getting attacked. And I think we can say for certain that the guy that was attacked in the pub in Birmingham, he wasn't involved in a demonstration. He was just out for a beer and happened to be unlucky enough to be locked outside the pub when it was surrounded by a Muslim mob. Keir Starmer is responsible for that by his rhetoric. No doubt about it. So my question is this: if anybody's going to be investigated for hate crimes or for inciting violence or for stoking community tensions, it should be Keir Starmer. It should be those vile, disgusting scum in Hate Without Hope. That's who should be getting questioned and arrested, because they did spread fake news about the acid attack. And again, I'll try and find the video and put it in the description below. The guy from the Free Speech Union did an excellent piece, forget the guy's name, did an excellent piece about why Keir Starmer could have broken his own rules on spreading fake news. Again, I'm not a lawyer, I don't have all the facts, but if that's the case, then there's another reason that Keir Starmer should be investigated for stoking racial tension and stoking community tension even. So these are very, very serious things, and the narrative has been skewed, lies have been told by people in the media, by the government. Again, the government didn't mention Tommy Robinson, but they might as well have done. And of course, Tommy's now had death threats. He's threatened with imprisonment when he returns to the UK. His life is going to be turned upside down yet again. And what the government and the powers that be fail to realise, that Tommy is a massive part of the solution to the problems of community tension within the United Kingdom. And he has always been an outlet valve and the lightning rod to diffuse those community tensions. That's what people have not got about Tommy. Tommy has done the opposite to what people have said he's going to do. Instead of stoking riots, he has de-escalated. Instead of being far right, he stood and fought physically when he's had to with the far right, as many of us have. We're talking about the goose-stepping lunatics, far right. So I think that the British government has massively misjudged the strength of feeling among the British people. The British working class, every single British working class person I know loves Tommy and would throw themselves in front of a bus for Tommy. He has massive influence, way, way beyond even the 1 million people that are following on Twitter. He is an extremely influential man. And he did more to de-escalate those riots than anybody else at the time. And I think if that's not noted and that's not understood by the police, the security services, the government, then they have a massive blind spot. And they really, really need to take a look at themselves and realise what's really going on here. Because what we are trying to do in our movement is build a peaceful movement that will bring about change and bring about unity in the country, and will ostracise and push out all extremism. That's what we want. That's our stated aim. We've been working on a pledge for people to take for over a year now. And to get these things exactly right takes time. But in the pledge that we have, what I know about our pledge is, it is completely designed to stop extremism. Whether it be Islamic extremism, whether it be the extremism of the far left and the communists, whether it be the extremists of genuine Nazis and goose-stepping anti-Semitic lunatics, whether it be to stop the extremism of the globalists and the climate change lunatics, all of those things are in our pledge. And I think people that do not understand that and think that we're the extremists, you're not part of the solution, you're part of the problem. And that includes the media, the security services, the police, the Home Office, the government, Conservative and Labour, people in reform who are still throwing Tommy under the bus. They've got to understand who the good guys are here. And I'm telling you now, are we perfect as human beings, all of us in this movement? No, far from it. Far from it. Just like the Bible says, all have sinned and fall short of the glory of God. We're all sinners. But what we are is people who love our country, love the people of this country and want it to work. And the man that's at the head of that, the man that's at the tip of the spear, is Tommy Robinson. And I think if the state continues to persecute Tommy, it is going to cause massive societal problems. He doesn't want to see that happen. I don't, and I believe everybody in our movement doesn't want to see that happen. So what we need to do, we need to communicate this message that Tommy was not an inciter of the riots. He was the man that did more than anyone else during that period to bring those riots to an end. It's an important message. It's got to go out. People have got to understand it, and they've got to realise that we're on the right side of history. And those reprobates that are in government, the sooner we can get them out of power, the better. 5 years is going to be a long, long time, but they will face the court of public opinion in 5 years' time, and they will be defeated. See you all soon.